right, everyone, grab a drink, grab a snack, because today's story, oh, this one is a full saga. We're talking 18 months of chaos, couture crimes, and a bride who could have powered a small town with pure delusion. We are Masala Chai Stories, and we give you a weekly dose of true stories just dramatized enough to keep you glued. Let's get into it. Just so you know, this didn't happen in the US. This happened several years ago. And where I come from, bridesmaids do not pay for their own outfits. Remember this, it does matter. So, it begins with my friend, let's call her Hannah, asking me to be a bridesmaid. And honestly, I was so excited. She is my friend, and after all, it's her big day. Even though her partner was a pothead piece of human compost. But let's ignore that because romance is, yeah, just leave it there. She wanted babies like yesterday. But before any planning even started, my partner passed away suddenly. I called Hannah, sobbing, still wearing my engagement ring. What had happened? This killed me, and I needed my friend. And her response, you ask? Oh God, you're not gonna be a bummer, are you, like this for my wedding? And that was my support. I should have ran like Julia Roberts, but the runaway bridesmaid. However, I guess I was still processing my own shock. I told myself, yeah, weddings can do funny things to people. Now, I love wedding dresses, so I was ready. But Hannah bought her cousin. Miss, I want to study fashion, so I know what's best and nobody else does. Meaning, Hannah only listened to her. The result, you ask? So we were shushed every time we opened our mouths. Now, I love an eccentric dress, but this was an abomination. What Hannah chose, oh, sweet heavens. It should have been burned. The ashes burned again and shot into space. And guess what? She regretted it within a week, and here's a bride to be with a tantrum because she couldn't cancel the dress. Did I mention it was all our fault for choosing it? Dress dash number 2. Yep, she brought a second dress. Hannah made us sit and circle dresses and make notes so that our mistake was not repeated. Let's just say this was so bland, it looked like magnolia paint and a housing estate had a baby. If you know, you know. But she stuck to it. At one point, she pulled me aside and says, take off your ring. The ring that was given by my late partner. Nope. Because your ring is bigger than mine. What if the shop girls think you're more important? Course, because that's how they measure importance. I did not. This was not up for discussion. So we finally get to bridesmaids' dresses. We were invited to give our input of what we would like. We said dark purple. It took 4 hours. I requested for wide straps because, let's say, my babies need to be supported. 34H isn't a joke. Another bridesmaid requested for it not to be skin tight so nobody could see her insulin pump. Rachel said, no satin please, so that you can't see her sweat stains as she has hyperhidrosis. What does Hannah pick? One shoulder, skin tight, single layer satin, in the colour of diarrhea. Ruche diamantes, floor length, pinned at the knees. You could only walk in baby penguin steps. Then she added, because you all let me down, you will need to pay for them. One of the bridesmaids said, we should get them closer to the time so that they fit the best. I need to walk out, I thought, but I dismissed thinking this was 8 years of friendship and I couldn't let her down like this. Shoes arrived. 90s Irish, chunky dolly shoes with massive stacked heels. We had to pay for those too. We secretly named it the Office Max Wedding. I gained weight due to new medication. As some of you may know, it was quick. I was 20 pounds with no changes to diet and exercise. And it was the type of weight gain you could walk all day and it will not shift. I warned her. She replied, "Okay, well, stop it," through gritted teeth. By the way, does anyone know how to do this? Please let me know in the comment section. Now, a destination bachelorette through our purses but no consultation. Florida in hurricane season. It was enjoyable. We played drinking games indoors because you try and make the best of any situation, right? Well, Hannah sulked. So, the airport. Moments before a long haul flight, we are all seated when Hannah turned to me. "You can't be a bridesmaid anymore. But don't worry, I'm not mad. You can send a gift." I didn't realize how fat you'd gotten. The dress style me and the other girls chose doesn't go too big. Besides, I don't want a fat bridesmaid in my photos. So, yeah, we don't speak anymore. Odd, right? Last I heard, she had a few kids, then got divorced when her husband was arrested for dealing smack. So that's a wrap for our story today. And that, my friend, is why red flags shouldn't just be ignored. They should be set on fire and launched into the sun. Have you experienced anything similar? Let us know. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Let's bless all bridesmaids' dresses with support straps. We need those oranges in. Trust me, it can be a painful affair or a jiggly one. Take your pick.